Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be a fastest map ever replay sent to me by RJB StarCraft. You can find him on YouTube. He casts nothing but fastest map ever last time I checked. If you want more fastest map in your lives, go ahead and check out RJB on YouTube. And it's going to be S versus Minchel here on Styler. Bottom side of the map here, we have the orange Zerg player. It is S. And at the top side, leftish here, oh, I guess it's more of a 9 o'clock. It is the blue Protoss player, Minchel. All right, these players are going to go at it. This is a replay that RJB is very excited about. He's a patron of mine, which gives him the right to send me one replay every month that I will cast, no questions asked. But he's excited about this, and I'm excited about it too, because sometimes he'll send me a replay and be like, this is good. This is a good replay. But this time he was like, dude, you have to cast this one. So I was like, all right, we're getting there. For the month of July, on July the 31st, we're going to post this one. So about a 9 hatch there. 9 hatch trying to wall off the choke. The Protoss player is coming out with the probe and looking, oh, went left and then went right. Hold on. That might have changed the attitude of this whole game. Scouting the right direction is this probe instead of going the absolute wrong direction, and might not have gotten here in time to scout. Oh, but the juke in, looks for the hatch, doesn't see it, comes in, sees the hatch here, and goes, all right, cool. I have a forge coming up back home. So we're going to cannon this and try to shut this sucker down. Meantime, it is a pool on the way, about a 9 pool there. So 9 hatch, 9 pool on fastest map. Standard build orders just don't make any sense. Like, if you're a 1v1 fan, like, no one ever goes 9-9 in 1v1 in Zerg, but in fastest map, sure, totally viable. You want to get the pool out first, because there will be zealots coming to kill you sooner rather than later, because that's how Protoss works in at fastest map, is they will come at you with a million zealots. It's like the AI in Brood War. All they know how to do is go for a zealot rush, and they will. They will go for the zealot rush. So here comes the first cannon, and I think we need more drones. Alright, couple more drones are coming up to see what they can do. A scouting drone comes over as well to see what's what. Killing this probe would be really nice. Is that good? Wait, hold on. Oh, the probe. Good micro on display here, pulling the wounded drone back, and they got the cannon. Okay, so they forced to cancel on that cannon. I'm not sure if this... Nope, that one immediately canceled. Creep colonies are getting started now. A zealot has shown up. Is this going to work? Dude, if Minchel can shut down this choke attempt right now, that's a huge investment by S. If he loses it, he's in a massive amount of trouble. Cannon coming up a little bit further away right now. The creep is spreading, and both Sunkens are in production. Zealots continue to cruise across the map right now. They're being made 2 at a time back home in those gateways. The Lings are like, are there enough? Are there enough of us to handle this thing is the question. And getting one of the Sunkens would be really nice for Minchel, and he does get one of the Sunkens. Okay, but the rest, yeah, for the Protoss here, these cannons, I don't know if they're going to finish. I guess this one's going to finish. It's going to get like a hit off. Oh my gosh, I think that might have been canceled. That was like a super late cancel out of Minchel. Got that refund back in, sitting at about 400 minerals, and the choke is real. He did it. He managed to get the creep up here, which is what he wanted to do. Now he can drone up a bunch back home. He feels pretty safe about that. He is going for another macro hatch. After that first one is done, he's using the larva up here too because he's a smart player. Meanwhile, there's a cannon back home because Minchel's like, if I get counterattacked by Zerglings, I want something. Zealots are out, and they're gonna try to kill stuff. Zerglings are like, how many zealots are there? Too many. There are too many zealots. More Sunkens required. 16 to 10 workers, because you know how Zerg rolls. They have to sacrifice drones to make buildings. Mind blown. Lings try to go in for the scouts, and they see everything. They recognize, all right, there's another Nexus coming out. There's 2 gates. There's nothing too crazy happening. Cybercore on the way. Nah. Not good information, but information nevertheless. I mean, the Zerg design is so... Like, I know that Dune is the original RTS. Were there RTSs before StarCraft that had this concept of, like, you turn your workers into buildings. You sacrifice your income to make buildings, But then you make up for it on the other end because your buildings can produce more than gateways and barracks and stuff. I don't know. Like, my understanding of the history of RTS in the 90s is not as good as it should be. So maybe somebody can let me know in the comments. Yeah, there was an RTS back in 1994 that did that. Because if not, I think it's really ingenious for Blizzard. They're like, we need a third race, and they can't be too much like every other thing we've done with Warcraft 2 or, you know, what Dune did or Age of Empires. Age of Empires, I think Age of Empires 1 predates StarCraft, if I remember correctly. Because I had friends that were Age of Empires fans. And they also liked StarCraft, and we would play both, but I always liked StarCraft a lot better. I was better with it, too. Oh, no. Age of Empires, the original, came out in 97. Okay. Yeah, so about 6 months before StarCraft 1 came out. So Age of Empires predates a bit. But insofar as they're all humans, there are different civilizations you're fighting with, but they're all humans. I don't think there is anything where you sacrifice a human being to become, like, a factory or, you know, a windmill. Probably not how that works. So, good job, Blizzard. I gotta say, fairly innovative. Again, I could be proven wrong. Additional hatcheries coming in. We got ourselves a Hydralisk den because Hydras are the backbone of Zerg, especially in fastest map. Like, especially in fastest map. If I had to describe Zerg in fastest map with one sentence, I would say a lot of Hydralisks die. Because a lot of Hydras die. But they're cheap, they're fast to make, they don't take a lot of supply, they hit hard. And when you have unlimited resources, making a ton of Hydras is not a bad thing. It's really not. You're going to lose a whole bunch, but it's totally worth it in the end, generally. A Dragoon is out. Hello. Just trying to make sure this Overlord can't move out and start scouting, at least without dealing with that Dragoon first, because this contain is starting to get a little bit real. Although there is a Ling running around inside Minchel's base. What other tech are you getting, Protoss? Oh, another pylon. Well, I'm going to keep scouting this until you stop me from doing so. Actually, you might leave on my own. Cool. All right. Goodbye, Zergling. I know you've been bored, but... Oh, yeah. We got our Robos coming up in the front. These are going to be Reavers. Like, this forward Reaver stuff is very, very common in fastest map. You really shouldn't be surprised by this if you're S. It's 35 to 24 workers right now. Not ideal for the Zerg player, but, you know, could be worse. Could be a worse economic situation. He could have gotten dropped already, but nah. Got our first shuttles in production, and Zealot's going to go in those guys and try to get something done. But the Hydra count is just, again, it's skyrocketing a little bit here for S. He's getting a little bit scary there. He's only on 24 probes. 24 to 39 workers right now is nuts. This Zergling continues to scout. Does end up scouting the Stargate. So Stargate on the way. Zealots unload, and no. There are not enough Zealots to do this. If they had speed, and there were like 5 more of them, yes. But as it stands, no. I don't know why there's 2 probes out. I have no idea why there would be 2 cruising around right now. I guess maybe to try to kill this Zergling if the Zergling turns on him and fights. Is it only 2 probes to kill a Ling if the Ling doesn't have any upgrades? I don't actually know. This indicates that's the case. Because, like, chasing a Zergling with 1 probe is scary, but apparently with 2 you're brave enough to pull it off. Oh, man. So one of the first upgrades here is Scarab damage, adding 25 damage per hit to the Reaver shot, which is a Scarab and does 100 damage anyway. So 125 is massive. Going to try to break through the front here with the Reavers and Corsairs, I guess, in case Mutalisks show up. That'd be my guess. And just for general map control, just killing Overlords is a good thing that Corsairs can do. Try to keep the Zerg player contained. Try to make sure that dropping isn't super viable for the Zerg player because there are Corsairs around, and it can be scary to fly an Overlord out into the open when there's Corsairs ready to murder it. Is he... Holy smokes. 4 Stargates? Okay, remember when I was like, he wants Corsairs to deny Overlords and drops and stuff? He really wants to do those things. Like, really bad. He's getting air upgrades, so that makes a lot of sense. Ground weapons coming in here, too. 3 Reavers at a time in production in our robotics facilities. There's already a couple here continuing to fire on at the front with their upgrade. Pa-pow! Ka-chow, they say. Pneumatized Carapace on the way for S. That's not drops, but it is speed. He's getting Burrow, too. It doesn't really help. Like, I thought for a minute maybe you burrow your workers when enemy attacks come in, but they're all splash damage anyway. It's going to be Storm, it's going to be Reavers, and burrowing your units doesn't help defend against either of those things. Their area of effect, the area affected counts for ground units too. Oh, they don't have the Scarab damage upgrade yet. That Scarab damage upgrade is long. Just kidding. I misinformed you about whether that upgrade was done. It's not done yet. It's very close. See, okay. I don't... How do I feel about this Spire right here? Considering the fact that we're pumping out 3 Corsairs at a time, I don't know that I like Spire. I don't like Mutas. Scourge might be okay. I mean, Guardians are potential down the road, especially in fastest map. Just Guardians are more viable in fastest map than in 1v1 just because, again, your squishy units that die fast, you can remake them pretty easily because you have so much economy in fastest map compared to 1v1. Kind of makes them better. It's weird. It's really weird. It's a reason that Zerg is overpowered in the late game of fastest map and underpowered in the early game. It's because economically they're not very strong in the early game, but if they get that thing ramped up and they get a giant bank, I mean, they can max and remax again sometimes, depending on how much that bank is. And their little squishy units, yeah, sure, the squishy units might die, but they're taking a lot of your guys with them. And 3 armies full is going to do a ton of damage. So we'll see how this works out. He's continuing to make Sunken Seer. Just trying to make sure that Minchel can't just walk in here with a ton of zealots and try to win the game. But I love the positioning of the Hydras. Defensive, defensive, defensive. Any further drop attempts are going to have a hard time, without question. A fleet beacon on the way. Carriers, maybe? I really don't like carriers versus Zerg. I know we've seen a bunch of carrier attempts versus Zerg on the channel for the month of July. But, very mixed results, right? No spoilers. There are just too many things Zerg has that directly counters carriers. Scourge are fantastic against carriers. Devourers are good against carriers. Hydras were good against carriers, especially if they have Dark Swarm. Not that we have a Hive. We're a little bit further away from Dark Swarm at this point than perhaps I would like the Zerg player to be, but it's really just sitting on Hydra tech and counting on the fact that there's not much the Protoss player can do against him when he has this many Hydras with the upgrades that he's working on. Actually, he's not getting any upgrades as I check. Really? He's got +1 attack and I think range, and that's it? I mean, sure. He's got Carapace now that I started talking about it. Templar Archives on the way for the first time. You're going to want some Storm versus these Hydras without question. Corsairs just continuing to make sure there is no Zerg presence outside of this area. Corsairs are getting sniped off in pursuit of this goal. Holy, what disruption web's being researched? Okay. Alright, disruption web is on the way. Now, I get comments all the time. Falcon, why doesn't Protoss make disruption web versus Terran? Look, number 1, you have to get a fleet beacon to get the upgrade. Number 2, it costs 200, and it's a long upgrade. And number 3, every Corsair, it costs them energy to do so. And it doesn't last as long as it did way back in the early days of the Brood War when it was like a 60-second spell. And it was amazing. And then it was too good and they nerfed it. But then campaign missions weren't updated and it screwed up some stuff. Anyway, the point is, it's just not worth it, man. That's why. If it was good, like, rule of thumb here, Brood War players have been playing Brood War for a very long time. If something is good, they would be doing it. I think that's the rule here. Again, Corsair is just willing to kind of murder themselves and die to kill some overlords. Is that what? Argus Talisman? Does Minchel know what that upgrade is? He's getting Argus Talisman. That's the Dark Archon energy upgrade. Does he have any Dark Archons? No. Does he have any DTs? Not that I have seen anywhere. It's a little suspicious. So one thing that is officially and unofficially banned in fastest map games is Protoss mind controlling an enemy worker and making a second army. It's not as much of a concern in 1v1 StarCraft as it is in fastest map. And as a result, if you do it, if it's in like an official tournament setting, they'll ban you. And even if it's in a friendly setting, the person you did it to is going to be really mad. they're going to badmouth you to the rest of the community. So don't do it. Why? Why else would you get that upgrade, though? All right. I mean, that's a lot of Hydralisks, man. That is so many Hydralisks down there. That is a lot of shuttles, but they don't like their odds at all. They really don't. Corsairs, again, just making sure that the orange presence is contained in this box. This is where orange can live. Actually, hold on. This is where orange can live. Anywhere else? No. Bad. This Overlord being over here isn't completely naughty. Minchel doesn't like that at all. Ow. Reaver hits are real. Again, Overlords are trying to get vision over this way. Big Reaver drop happening. That's a lot of Reavers, but you know the Hydras are coming in from different angles, and they are absolutely getting massacred, but you know what? They don't care. If these Reavers are allowed to hold the Disruption Web being used, hey, why not? You have the upgrade. Sure. I mean, it didn't help in the long run. I mean, it helped a little bit, I guess. Sure. Observer sniped as the upgrade for sight range is coming in. A hive is on the way from Le Zerg player. He's at 75 drones. Getting a little bit scary here. The longer the game goes on, the worse it is for the Protoss, I feel like. Making more Reavers to replace the ones that died in the Great Reaver Drop of 2020. Wait. Was that Corsair energy? Holy shamoly. Dude, he just went from 200 to 250 energy on his Corsairs. Okay, that's an upgrade we never see. We do never see Corsair energy upgrade, let alone Disruption Web. Corsairs do not cast spells in regular StarCraft, but this is fastest map where the rules don't apply. Storm coming in, additional upgrades for the air for the Corsairs. They really wants to make sure there's air superiority here. So far, I think it's working, although a second Spire's on the way. Ooh, and a Greater Spire just popped in. As this Zergling was like, I was going that way, but... I'm going to run this way now very slow. Where are you trying to go, friend? Oh! Left, I guess. I see you. I see you. Corsairs. Causing problems. And look, oh, never mind. There's one Zergling up in the top left. But otherwise... all the Zerg is fully contained within this circle, square. Whatever shapes are. Do I need to go back to kindergarten? It's entirely possible. Yeah, man, 69 workers. I don't think there have been any successful drops from Minchel, so it's just him making buildings with his drones and then replacing them by making more drones. Ensnare is being researched? I thought we were just getting a queen. Oh, there's actual queens. I thought we were just getting a queen's nest. For the hive. No. Fastest map is different. Here comes the drop. Bonk. Okay, right here. Big time. Oh, great pull. That Reaver shot tried to connect. Couldn't do it. A bunch of Corsairs are in here trying to kill these Overlords, which I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for you guys. I think you might actually end up all dead. Disruption Web happening. It works on Lurkers. And secondary drop attempt. One shot off on that Reaver. But it's still 67 workers. I don't think it killed anything. I think S is fine after that drop. He had enough Hydras. He had enough Lurkers defending his main base to make it work. And so far, so good. Consume coming in. Flyer attack upgrades on the way. Mutalisks on the way. Now, this doesn't have to be Mutalisks. Again, I don't like the concept of Muta when there's so many Corsairs around, but, again, Guardians are good in fastest map. Devourers. We've seen Devourers in fastest map, too. So, I mean, don't discount the possibility of those guys. 3 layers in production. That's not something you see a lot, but I think he wants backup hives in case the main one goes down, which... that'd be pretty disastrous to lose his main base right here, right next to the minerals. He'd have to rely on some longer distance mining. Again, shorter distance than like regular StarCraft, but you know how it is. This contain, though, is for real for Minchel. He is left side, right side, top side, corners. He's built a million robos out here in the middle of the map. He has so many Stargates. It's kind of bonkers. He's finally getting Kaderan Amulet. Like, the upgrade that makes sense, High Templar energy is one of the later ones that he gets. But sure, whatever, it's fine. Plague getting researched here by S2. Going to be really nice against the Protoss, because Protoss can't recover from the damage taken by Plagues. Unlike Terran, where they can repair out of it, eventually. Hey, look at us, say the Corsairs. We're trying to kill your overlords. Come over here, Hydralisks. And then the shuttles are like, zoom. But the Hydras are jumping in here, too. They're recovering. Oh, and he has to unload. Oh, my gosh, an ensnare. We do not see ensnares a lot, you guys. That shuttle almost made it over. Nope, doesn't happen. And, yeah, the ensnare making it so the shuttles can't quite run away. Fare thee well, shuttles. Oh, I heard a Guardian. There's 2 Guardians out. Okay. What the? He's getting scout movement. Minchel is getting the scout speed upgrade. What is even happening today? All the bananas. All the bananas are happening today is what? Reavers back to their work at the front door. Trying to accomplish their dark work without running directly into Sunkens, which is not great. It's an Ultralisk Cavern in production. Yeah, look at this. Extra hives from S. I kind of like it. Again, if one of the hives dies, he still has the ability to build hive tech if he needs to after a big disastrous drop. Hey, look! Massive Reaver drop number 2. Gonna get murdered, if not by the Hydras, but by the Guardians in this situation. Ooh, hang on. The Corsairs sniping the Guardians from behind. Additional Hydras have to come up from the south to try to deal with this. There are a bunch of these guys remaining. So many Hydras have died here. It is a Hydra burial ground. Without question. Look at the Hydras. They're wasting shots on Corsairs. I guess maybe they're trying to save the Guardians. But man, the upgrades are so good on the Corsairs with their +3 attack. Oh, round 2 of the unload. He's trying to get a foothold in here, and I kind of love it from Minchel. Dude, S does not have many Hydras over here, but guess what he's doing? He's just producing 13 at a time. So, I mean, yes, should eventually be able to clear this thing out. It is dangerous, though. But eventually, with enough Hydralisks, you can do it. Yeah. I mean, that's right. It's the nature of Zerg, is if they can throw enough units at something, they'll kill it. In fastest map, it is just easier to throw enough units at things. It's harder in 1v1. Fastest map, Zerg feels so at home with a million hatcheries, with a ton of larvae. Even tossing up a bunch, I'm going to assume these are spores along the left side to help defend against future drops. So I don't know what Minchel does here. I think he had a plan. He's like, I'm going to go Reaver drops. I'm going to get Corsairs in case there are Guardians to kill the Reavers, but too many Hydras. Did he count on the fact that Minchel, or S rather, would be able to produce a bajillion Hydralisks and suicide them all in order to save his base? I don't know if he counted on that or what. Anabolic Synthesis coming in from the Zerg player. Gamic Meiosis. No, that's a Metasynaptic Node. Defiler Energy coming in here from the Zerg 2. Another drop attempt down the right side. Responding the entire Zerg army trying to get down here. And yeah, so the Reavers unload in this location, but they're not going to get anywhere near the economy. I mean, it hurts, right? It's definitely damaging. The Mutas are trying to snipe the Reavers while taking Corsair hits, which is not ideal, but desperate times are calling for the desperate measures, and that drop got pretty well shut down. I gotta say, S is fine after that. Creating 15 Corsairs at a time is Minchel. This is like Corsair Reaver on steroids right now. I kind of love it. His upgrades are great. He's working on further ground armor. He's already got 2-2-3 across the board here. Wait. 2-2-1. Oh, attack upgrade for ground is actually the last thing. I guess he's been doing Reavers. Reavers don't benefit from attack upgrades anyway. So, sure. Makes sense. Hey, look, round 3. Fight. Plague! Ooh! Nice plague on those Reavers. I don't know if it reduced their lifespan significantly because, like, they were going to die anyway. But it was nice. I get more hyped about Plague against Protoss than I do against Terran. Oh my gosh, that was sick! That just plagued every one of the Corsairs except for this one in this whole group. You know why I already said this. I already said why I like Plague against Protoss is because it injures them in a way they can't recover from. Look at him suiciding the Plague Corsairs. He's like, they don't even matter. They're worthless to me now. Reaver drop on the left side. We're trying this now instead of the right side, and it goes about the same. A million Hydralisks die, but all the Reavers get blown up too. So fair trades here from S. He is, again, locked in his house. He is in Protoss prison. Like, this is the most I've seen dedicated to cannoning up a Zerg base on the outside on fastest map. Minchel is dedicated, I can tell you that much. However, S is sitting on about a 8,000 mineral bank and a 2,500 gas bank. Minchel does not have much gas, under 1,000, but he does have 5,000 minerals, which, considering how much gas he needs in order to deal with a Zerg player, is not really that comforting. So a bunch of Guardians out. Going for Chitinous Plating for Ultras, which I mean, the number of Reavers in this game, I don't know that Ultralisks are exactly your answer. There are 10 Reavers at a time in production. Look at this. Look at the worms popping out of that robo. Those robos, rather. By the way, hit that like button if you're enjoying this match. This has been crazy pants. RJB, he never disappoints, man. This guy, he has the best content. The best, fastest maps. And sometimes 1v1s, too. Ensnare! Oh, got it. Got it with the Ensnare. There were queens. I saw them. 77 drones. Let's see how many are left. The drone pool seems pretty good. Wow, that looked like a big hit, but it was mostly eggs and hydras. It's still 75 drones. The drones are coming back to work while the drops are still leaving. The Ensnare helping, oh, to snipe every one of those shuttles. Brutal stuff for Protoss, but really nice if you happen to be a, well, a Zerg player. Nice plague on the Reavers up north. Not going well for them. Hey, look, Reaver down. Yeah, that 4,000 gas bank for S is really beneficial. Yeah, it's Corsair Reaver, man, with some High Templar backup support. This opening is a little bit scary for S. He's not been replacing his Sunkens all that well. Plague! Plague! Ooh! Wiping out. Effectively wiping out those Reavers. I mean, they're not dead yet, but they're dead. They know they're dead. God, another great plague. That Defiler paid the ultimate price for it. That seems like a good trade to plague some of these buildings. Well, specifically cannons, I guess. Again, this is the most patient Zerg. I would have been like, how am I supposed to get out of here? Reaver, hey look, Reaver drop corner is populated again, everyone. This time there's more Guardians to try to kill them. Where are the Corsairs? Corsairs, save your friends from the mass. Well, it's just 2 Guardians. Maybe that's not big enough of a problem to worry about. There we go. Corsairs are like, oh, but then the Devourers come out. The Acid Spore. The Acid Spore is real right now. Oh my gosh. Increasing the damage taken by every hit, which is massive when there are Hydralisks shooting spines at you. Or spitting at you, or whatever they do. StarCraft 2 Hydras are kind of different from Brood War Hydras, it turns out. But anyway, more Mutalisks in production. Reavers walking to their deaths, a little bit careless. They're out of Minchel. Storm all over these Hydralisks. That storm on the choke is disgusting. High Templar pulling back into the cannon wall. Saves his own life by doing so. Very smart. Guardians kind of trying to break out. Look how they wander into cannon range, though. Stupid Guardians. Why are you so dumb? I really don't like insulting units all that much, but for real, if there's ever any kind of like a bug fix or minor balance change to StarCraft, all I want is Guardians no longer drift towards their targets like morons. They're designed to outrange cannons and turrets and stuff, but they will drift into them just because they're stupid. Look, firing, drift. Drift. In this way, cannons can hold their own against Guardians, which doesn't make any friggin' sense. That's not how it should be. It's like if Sunkens can hold their own against siege tanks. Doesn't make any sense at all. That's not how it's supposed to work. Whatever. Hey, look, 14 Guardians in production. That's a lot of Guardians out of S. All right, we're at the 26.5-minute mark. Drop of confusion, though. Oh, my gosh. We got ensnared on everything. We got purple down south here, too. It's still 67 drones. I don't know how S is surviving these drops. That one in particular. I don't get it. Did he just murder those Reavers before they got any shots off and evacuate the drones at the same time? This guy's good. Whoever this mysterious S is, I'm kind of impressed by him at the moment. Immensely. Anyway, 27-minute mark. Who's going to win this game? Put your prediction in the comments. And if you're right, I will congratulate you in the comments, because I read every comment anybody ever makes on any of my videos. Ever. Ever. The Storms are pretty good against the Guardians. I mean, the Guardian dodging is about as good as you're ever going to expect it to be in a match. So, like, S is doing what he can. Corsairs are here, but man, these Devourers are like, no. No. You're going to leave our Guardians alone. They have escort now. I'm going to murder you all. I kind of like it, man. Again, we just see so much weird stuff in Fastest Map. We saw in this game Disruption Web researched and used, Corsair Energy researched, Scout Speed researched, Dark Argus Talisman researched. It's a bananas match. Again, part of it is just kind of being prepared for anything. But still. Can S get out of here? I mean, it's got to be so discouraging for him. Disruption Web going down to the choke. A million Reavers are here with 4 more in production. More Corsairs being made all the time. But the Corsairs can't hold up against these +3 Devourers and the Hydra supporting. Dude, S is slowly, inexorably pushing his way out of this Protoss prison he's found himself in. The Storms aren't enough. That High Templar are trying to run. Is he going to survive? Yes, because the Hydra got distracted and then murdered. Excellent job. These Guardians is coming up, breaking out of the sides here as well. And again, it is just all the Corsairs all the time being produced right now. Purple and green. Ensnare and Acid Spores getting tossed down on these dudes. Holy crap. This is incredible stuff right now. When do we ever see Ensnare and Acid Spores tossed down on the same unit? Never. We don't. And it's doing so much work against them. Ensnare reduces the attack speed of most of the units that it hits, slows the movement speed, and then they're taking extra damage. Look at them focusing down the Devourers as well as they can. Pretty tanky Devourers, though. Slow attack speed to make up for it. But suddenly, the Zerg player is right on top of these Robos. There's 1 Reaver in production right now. You might be needing more than that with the number of Hydras that are popping out, my friend. Dude, the 3/3 Hydras and the 3/3 Lings with adrenal glands. The adrenal Lings are here. Suddenly, S has transitioned directly into a mass Hydra Ling strategy, and the Reavers are gone. And the ability to make more Reavers is disappearing from before our eyes as we're looking at it right now. Okay, all the Robos are out, man. No more Reavers for you, the Ling Hydra. How many Zealots can you make? How much Storm can you get done here? These gateways are in a lot of trouble too all of a sudden. Dude, S. It's 200 to 141 supply. So much of the production for the Protoss is out here. It's all Stargates at home. And the Corsairs aren't cutting it versus this Mass Hydra Ling thing. Oh, did he overcommit to Stargates and now it's biting him? I think it is. I am convinced it is. There's a handful of gateways down here. He's making Zealots, High Templar, and Dragoons. But no, it's not enough. Good game. And Minchel taps out S. The mysterious S is our winner. What an absolutely fantastically disgusting game. RJB, you are not wrong, friend. You are never wrong. If you send me a replay that you're proud of, a replay that you want cast for the channel and you're excited about it, it's for dead good reason. Holy cow. That was ridiculous. I've never seen a Zerg player so contained in a fastest map. Again, every angle of his base contained. Every side, and it's all gone now. Not only did he break out the front, but he broke out all the cannons. Okay, there's a couple down here, but whatever. Once the Robos were gone, and suddenly Ling Hydra was way more viable, that was the beginning of the end. Losing these gateways was massive, and the Corsairs aren't going to do anything. You can't go carrier here. It takes way too long to make, and it's a bad choice anyway. Scouts are dumb too. So strategy was attempted here by Minchel, but nope. Not enough. Again, thank you, RGB, for the replay. That was beautiful. It was. 31 minutes and 23 seconds on that fastest map. That was a grind for these players. 985 Zerg units produced and only lost 620 of them. That's a decent ratio for a fastest map. Minchel, more gas mined, more minerals mined, and more total spent, but somehow the Zerg player was more cost efficient today. In fairness, Minchel lost about 100 Reavers, I would say, and 1,000,000 Corsairs. Those are not cheap gas-wise. Incredible. I mean, absolutely just... Oh, incredible stuff. I want more S. Should we get more S in the world today? I think we should. I'll ask RJB for it. But for the meantime, that right there is going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.